Good morning, excuse me. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Heavenly Parent Holy Community Oceania morning Hundoke. And today is Anshiel, and we have Reverend Stone presenting on this Saturday, the 2nd of May 2026, or the 16th of March, in the 14th year of Chongyal Guk. Thank you all for coming, and let's begin with a bow to our true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind, Transijan, Pumanimge, Kyombo, Paro. And let's recite our family pledge, both in Korean and English.
가전맨세 6. 천일국 주인, 우리 가족은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님의 대신 가정으로서 손을 움직이는 가정이 되어 하늘의 축복을 주변에 연결시키는 가정을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Family pledge number 6. Our family, the owner of Chongyal pledges to become a family that moves heavenly fortune by embodying the heavenly parent and true parents, and to perfect a family that conveys heaven's blessing to our community by centering on true love.
Thank you. I'd like to share again True Mother from Soul Detention Center on the 8th of March 2026. Beloved Japanese members, please remain strong. Our Heavenly Parent is surely alive and is working today. When viewed through the eyes of faith, heaven is never silent. Throughout the 6,000-year providential history of humankind, heaven has continuously guided history forward. And at this very moment, heaven is working to fulfill love and the providential will for God's beloved children. Heavenly Parent has waited patiently throughout the 6,000 years of human history and has always been with us. And in the end, Heavenly Parent's dream will surely be fulfilled. Therefore, no matter what circumstances we face, we must not become discouraged, but move forward with faith in Heavenly Parent. Heavenly Parent always knows our prayers and devotions. Heavenly Parent knows every tear we shed and every hardship we endure. When we look back on the providence, we see that God has always initiated new aspects of the providence from places of suffering. From a human perspective, things may appear difficult, but when we look with eyes of faith, within those very circumstances, preparations for heaven's will are being made and a new path is opening up. When we consider the heart of Heavenly Parent, who has patiently endured throughout the 6,000 years of human history, we come to believe that even the difficulties we are experiencing now are ultimately part of the process through which heaven's will is being fulfilled. Beloved Japanese members, please maintain your center until the end. Our Heavenly Parent's dream will be realized. Arju. Thank you. And before we welcome up Reverend Stone, I'd like to share a praise song, so please enjoy.
홀리마더한 참 어머님과 하나 되어
Let us become one with Holy Mother Han and move forward centering on Churchman prayer.
가장 크게 역사하실 줄
True Father, will greatly work through us.
부모님 뜻을 위해 살리라 시몬의 기도는 그 어떤 시련과 고난도 이겨내게 할 줄 믿습니다.
Traditional prayer and devotion will allow us to overcome any difficulties.
환경하실 줄
Mother,
믿습니다.
return to Chanyeol as soon as possible.
신령과 진리로 나아가리. 전심원 기도로 나아가리. 전심원 기도로 나아가리. 전심원 기도로. 전심원 기도로 나아가리. 어머님 모시고 아버님 역사하실 수
Okay, let's give a warm welcome as we greet Reverend Stone.
Good morning, everyone. I'll just share my screen.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, that's clear.
Yep, can see it. Yep.
Terrific. Okay, so what I'd like to share this morning for Hunduka, it's a special day, of course. Today is the cosmic blessing will be held in Korea, and it's also the occasion of the 66th anniversary of True Parents' Blessing and first anniversary of the Chonwon-gung entrance and Chonil Sanctum opening. So yeah, special day. I was just looking at something that happened on the 5th and the 6th of February 2003. That was also a very, very special blessing, same day. And interestingly, a father was, he turned 83. This is, of course, the age that True Mother is right now. And what was Father doing? What were True Parents doing at that time? Well, of course, the century had turned, 2000 had passed, and we were moving into this Chonoguk era. And so this occasion, the fifth and sixth, true parents actually gave three speeches in just 2 days. There's an 83-year-old man, and of course, mother I think is just 23 years younger, so she just turned 60, right? So this is also mother's 60th physical birthday. So the father gave these three speeches over the course of just 2 days, and they're all different. And what I'm going to do is read this third one. It's a little bit shorter, and but they were given. First of all, this one was God's fatherland in the age of kingship in Chonoguk, February the 5th. This was at the World Summit on Leadership and Good Governance. And don't we need leadership and good governance in the world today, right? More than ever. That was at the Lotte Hotel, and that was during this kind of conference. It was actually IIFWP conference, which is the precursor to UPF, so Interreligious International Federation for World Peace. But then the next day, Father gave a speech at a huge gathering in Jamshil Olympic Gymnasium on February the 6th, and this was in front of a big audience. I'll show you a picture of it shortly. So this speech, Father said, God's true love and the liberation of the relationship of heaven and earth and humankind, and then then there was a blessing. Actually, true parents were blessed again, and then in the evening, Father went back to the Lotte Hotel, and he gave another speech on the same day, called "In Order to Realize the World of Peace," which I will read shortly. Okay, so let's go on here. I'll just show you a few pictures. So, and not only that, but earlier on the 5th of February, True Parents opened the Chonshim Hospital. So that's when it was opened on that day, commemorating, of course, the birthday, 83rd birthday, 70th birthday of 60th birthday of True Mother, right? 60, 70, yeah, 60th birthday of True Mother. All right, so they opened the hospital, and then Father gave this speech. Down. True Father, while addressing the World Summit of Leadership and Good and Governance, 5th of February 2003, God's Father and the age of kingship, Chonoguk. So there he is, and this is sort of distinguished leaders, some sort of former heads of state, but there's quite high VIPs were there. Okay, so this is Father again, 83, doing pretty well. Now, and this is also taken at that time on the 5th of February at this World Summit Conference on Leadership and Governance. And the guy circled there is Sir Alan Kemakeza. At that time, he was the Prime Minister of Solomon Islands. He was Prime Minister for quite a while for Solomon Island Prime Minister, which 2001 through to 2006. I was actually assigned to look after him. So actually, I was there, and I was sort of accompanying him, on the journey at the time. So here he is next to True Mother, and with the other dignitaries that were there. Yeah. And not only that, but on the 6th, this was the wedding. You may remember True Parents, of course, they had the wedding that we're celebrating today, 66th anniversary. But in the era of Chonoguk, True Parents, the father and mother wanted to have another wedding, right? Some kind of a Chonoguk level of consecration of their blessing. So Father's kissing that ring there, about to put it onto Mother's hand. And this is in the Chompyong complex there. I was there as well, looking after Sir Alan. Okay. So then Sir Alan's at the back there. You can't see him, but he and I are at the back, and watching all this take place. as true parents come in and they're in their white, wedding attire, followed by the true family, basically. And he and I got these kind of robes. They weren't pink. They were some other color. But for at a certain point, Father blessed everyone. So we had to be there. And there's Sir not really knowing what's going on, but he's involved in this amazing blessing. And so two parents went up to the front of the main room, and so they renewed their vows according to it's on the this one here. They're renewing their vows, and then some pictures were taken, two parents, and then the true family at the time there was also involved in the blessing. Parents and their immediate family pose after they renew their marriage vows, Chongpyeong, Korea, 6th of February 2003. Here they all are. So yeah, that was there on that day. And then we have this another amazing kind of thing. You see, there's chairs at the back there with kind of crowns on them, and folded up Korean traditional attire with sort of like crowns on top. That's like God, right? So true parents in the front. It's like the God of the day and the God of the night. This is, so true parents weren't leaving God out in terms of this blessing. It's really quite interesting, quite amazing, right? Isn't it? So there's God at the back getting blessed. I guess not sure. We better consult some theologians a bit more knowledgeable than me, but this is exactly what happened there. So true parents pray sitting behind the altar, yes, while the blessing members of Unification Church Korea on this February the 6th, 2003. There they are. And true parents, they're in there. It says regalia there, but obviously it's like kingship, right? Absolutely, this is like to do with kingship for sure, with these kind of with that dress and the crowns. Yeah, they're blessing the members of Unification Church. All of us were there, Korea, at the time. So then, Father races off, I guess. I'm not sure exactly the timing, but then he goes to the World Summit in Seoul, right, from Chongpyeong. And then it gives this message on leadership and governance at the congratulatory banquet, which we'll hear this speech in a minute, at the Lode Hotel. And there he is dressing the VIPs. And look, this was also, as I said, there was two speeches on this day, as well as the blessing. So I don't know, what was the day of the blessing? That was the same day, right? So this blessing, this all internally as anything ceremony. And Father gives this speech also on the 6th at the conference. And then this is the big one. This is at the Jamsil Gymnasium, same day. And there's Father up there. See that? With the red circle. Reverend Quark is introducing him. But, so this was the speech. He gave another speech there. So Father speaks on God's true love and the liberation of the relationship of heaven and earth and humankind. Jamsil Gymnasium, Seoul, 6th of February. Okay. So now, this is a picture of two parents. They pose with leaders and family members after the ACLC breakfast at East Garden, Ivington, New York, on March 6th. This is like a month later, isn't it? It's a month later. Father's gone to America and there. But you see Father is perhaps the way he's dressed, something is not really quite right. And in fact, after Father's return from hospital, true parent members gather at East Garden March the 28th. So I think in March, which is the following month to all these speeches, Father got very sick. He went to hospital. You may remember that. And Hyunjin him with the bald head there and the stick. You might remember there was a kind of a book and a series of photographs that he took of real close-ups of Father's hands and skin and face and everything, you know. Some of you may remember that. Anyway, Father got quite sick. We're not really quite sure what happened, but no wonder, in a sense, like, you know, he's just pushing himself so much, and you know, it's incredible, really, how much true parents pushed during that time. So here we go. This is this congratulatory banquet at the World Summit and Leadership and Governance Conference in Lotte Hotel in Seoul, same day. Okay, I'll start reading. In order to realize, this is Father's message to these leaders, in order to realize the world of peace. Formula to realize the world of peace, I guess you could say. Respected former heads of state, religious, political, and academic leaders who have gathered from around the world, diplomatic representatives, eminent leaders from Korea, I'd like to begin by congratulating you on the results you have achieved for world peace through the summit conference, and I'd like to convey deep appreciation for your many expressions of congratulations on this occasion of President Hak Ja Han's and my birthdays. I'd like to offer all of the glory to God, who has protected us until today. Let's put this up here. All right. On this meaningful occasion, I'd like to share with you my convictions about realizing a world of peace in view of our hope for world peace. There's never been a time when understanding between religions and reconciliation between religious people were more urgent than it is today. The precious teachings of our religions are the source of the wisdom that has brightened human history, but religious people of all faiths tend to have three weaknesses. One, they are not realistic, but are oriented towards the hereafter. Two, they can be narrow-minded and sectarian. And three, they can be fanatical. Wow, it's a pretty good analysis of the situation. Religious leaders must be able to embrace all people with open minds. The real duty of all religious people is to overcome the lines of division crippling the human race, in particular the walls between religions. Religions do not exist for the sake of their own success or for the salvation of their believers alone. They exist in order to accomplish the will of God. Religious people must never be narrow-minded or seek their own gratification. When one lives with a loving heart, all walls are broken down. The great founders of all the religions understood this and tried to accomplish this ideal. God is the origin of true love because a generic character of true love unconditionally seeks to live for another. True love always seeks the reciprocal partner. It is in relation to this point that we can properly understand God's motivation for creation and purpose of creation understood. God brought forth the created world as the reciprocal partner of true love. In all the creation, human beings were set apart as his closest reciprocal partners of love. That is to say, as his children. The first person, Adam, was not just an individual, he was also to have been the origin of the family, the tribe, people, nation, world, and cosmos of true love. God's ideal of creation was an ideal of harmony and unity in which each person lived for a reciprocal partner in the realm of true love. But before this ideal of true love was realized, the ancestor of humankind disobeyed God during his time of growth and to maturity and fell through false love. Through the fall, trouble began between God and humankind. Confrontations and conflicts ensued between God and Satan, between people and Satan, and among people. The fact that there have been many different nations and many conflicts bears witness to this truth. We can find the beginning point of an ideal world only through a movement that is able to overcome and go beyond the origins of these myriad conflicts. The way to resolve conflicts and struggles is altruistic and sacrificial love, that is to say, live for the sake of others. The realization of an ideal nation of God begins with individuals who think they should love their enemies. The way to win over enemies is not through superior strength. It is only possible through the power of true love, which embraces even one's enemies. If you plant soybeans, soybeans will grow. If you plant red beans will grow. If you plant seeds from red flowers blossom. In the same way, if you sow the seeds of Satan, which seek revenge, a tree of revenge will grow. And if you sow the seeds of goodness, which loves its enemies, a tree of goodness which loves its enemies will grow. If a nation that consists of people who have a mind to love their enemies comes into existence, that nation could become the ideal land that God desires. It could become the ideal model that humankind could follow. For the last 30 years, without resting, I have been devoting myself completely to solving the problems of America, such as the breakdown of the family, sexual immorality, the decadence of youth, the fall of morality, and the decline of Christianity. In spite of my many efforts, Americans, including many Christians, misunderstood me, persecuted me, and even imprisoned me. The negative attitudes and vicious slander against me continued unabated, but I refused to be caught in negative feelings of hatred and resentment, and I have continued to live a life of love in which I gave consistently to those who persecuted me. Same could be said of True Mother, of course, in the same circumstances, similar circumstances today. No matter what situation I may be in, the deepest part of my heart, I consider God's love and will as most important. Because of this, as time passed, more and more Americans, and especially Christians, realized anew the value of my teachings and life, and I can see that they are changing their minds about me. In a public speech, I directly told them Christians must respond to their mission to realize the will of God, who is the true root. Christians must change their attitudes and their ways of life. The founder of Christianity taught, love your enemy. If Christians fail to fulfill this basic principle, the only path for them will be one of decline. If that happens, it will be because they left the sacred laws in the teachings of Jesus that give us true freedom. If the Muslims and the leaders of other religions as well are able to realize a higher level of love in terms of morality and in terms of living for others, their enemies could be subjugated through the mighty power of true love rather than through external strength. I have always told the leaders of the Western world that they must not disregard or overlook the 1.3 billion Muslims or the 3.4 billion Asians or the people of other religions throughout the world. If America fails to understand the meaning of the existence of these parts of the great human family, how can we anticipate that America will build a better future and realize a world of peace for our descendants? The same reason, how can the Islamic world or the world of other religions look down upon or overlook the importance of the Christian culture in the West? If we look down on each other or disregard each other, then there is no hope for us. All the religious leaders must become leaders of a worldwide movement to realize a higher love that embraces other religions and societies. This is the lofty teaching of the founders of all religions. What is the direction that God's will and history is calling for? The ultimate ideal of God is a world that is peaceful and unified through true love, a world transcending religion, race, nationality. In other words, the realization of one family of humankind. The goal of God is not the victory of one religion or one ideology. It is the realization of a world of love in which all people live in peace, unity, and joy. In view of the external tendency towards unification through the technological and physical development of modern society, it is the responsibility of the religions to lead the way to the realization of an internal harmony and unification. Religions should take the lead and provide the example in this work. History is calling for the harmony and cooperation of the religious world. This should not be delayed. It is the holy will of God. If that is not accomplished, religions will decline. Throughout my whole life, I have taught based upon my direct experience of the heart of God and his will and the will he hopes to accomplish. What I teach is by no means a speculative theory. God is alive and is working in history. It is just that through the fall, human beings lost their original position, and without being able to perceive God completely, they have lived in sin and strife. Although God is omnipotent and perfect, when he has no appropriate reciprocal partner, he cannot fully express his omnipotence. After our first ancestors disobeyed God, God lost the foundation of goodness to which he could relate. Accordingly, his goodness and absolute power could not be expressed, but history nonetheless went forward. God is carrying out the providence to restore his position and heavenly will by restoring humankind to its original state. To restore the ideal of true love, true parents, and true family that the first ancestors of humankind could not accomplish, God is carrying out the providence by establishing people with missions as the second Adam and third Adam. I was called early by God in my mission as the true parent, is connected to these kinds of providential conditions. Respected leaders, I would like to ask you to take deep interest in the prophecy that I am about to make. Humankind is at a turning point. This era is that long-awaited time in which the power of God will become manifest in our lives, even though he is invisible and has seemed almost powerless and non-existent in the past. The time has come when the absolute power of God, who is the Lord of the holy order and laws, which really do exist in all things and in the universe, will manifest in amazing ways and be experienced by people in their daily lives. This is a miraculous event that is possible because a solid reciprocal foundation of goodness has been established based on the sacrifices and unconditional love of God. To parents and righteous people throughout history, from now on, humankind will gradually come to perceive God and to understand the spirit world and the works of spirit people. People will become conscious of their internal person, which is called their spirit self, and their spirituality will develop. Excuse me. In this way, humankind will naturally experience the laws of the universe and become true people through a clear change in character. Just get this out the way. Through this, people will learn that the existing order of the universe and the relationships of humankind were not made to be centered on oneself or self-interest. Rather, they were made to live for the sake of others altruistically. God's ideal of peace in the original creation is an ideal of unification. The existing world itself is made through an ideal of reciprocal partners. It is based on the premise of harmony and unification. No ideal of peace can be realized by neglecting or giving sorrow to one's reciprocal partner. When the relationships extending above and below, front and back, right and left, throughout the spirit world and physical world all realize harmony and unification and realize the ideal of true love that works by living for the sake of others, complete peace will be realized. Accordingly, God's happiness and joy will be attained together with the happiness and joy of his reciprocal partners, human beings. Furthermore, the individual purposes of all created entities are to be realized in relation to a larger purpose, and that is a public purpose. The order of the entire universe is set so that through the connection of these dual purposes, a great harmony and unity is to be established. But through the fall, human beings who disobeyed God and fell into ignorance have lived disobeying the original order of existence under the dominion of selfish greed, which is the fallen nature. People have lived stressing their private things more than the public things, their own private purposes more than public purposes. And the result is self-evident. They could not guarantee continued freedom, peace, and happiness. People who have gone forward struggling with and confronting others while pursuing enjoyment centered on themselves, on physical things, and on external strength are now miserably bogged down in unhappiness. Now is the time when people must reflect on themselves and listen to the voice coming from heaven. Through the benefit of the providence, the living God has now drawn near to us. From now on, people will have many spiritual experiences that they could not have earlier. That is to say, they will communicate with the transcendent world. Through these frequent spiritual experiences, people will be influenced directly and indirectly, especially people who experience the inspiration of God and good spirits will have their spirit senses developed centered on God, and they will experience major changes in their personalities. People who change their personalities in this way to fit the way of heaven are the true people for whom God has been hoping. We must all accomplish the true love that liberates us and to love our enemies, become true persons who properly understand the spirit world, become true parents, and establish true families. This personal transformation is the starting point of the world of peace. This is the starting point of the ideal nation God desires. For the person who has not been able to establish a harmonious ideal family life by becoming an incarnation of true love, there can be no ideal world or ideal nation in which he can live happily, sing songs of peace and joy. The ideal fatherland that God desires will be realized through the way of loving one's enemies. It will be realized when the tradition of loving the enemies of oneself, of one's family, one's tribe, one's nation, and the entire world is established. Many people are hoping that the United Nations will solve the problems of the world and be able to establish world peace. It is granted that the UN operated under some restrictions, but by failing to recognize the importance of religions and spirituality altogether, it chose a path that could not but compromise its influence. The result is that in analysing the problems of the present reality and in trying to solve them, the UN has been leaning to one side. If this continues, the UN will not be able to realise the purpose for which it was founded, and the relevance will diminish in the future. Well, hasn't that happened? In order to realise the ideal world of a world of peace, the ideal of a world of peace in a fundamental and comprehensive manner, I once again advocate that the United Nations establish an assembly consisting of representatives from all religions. At that time, the representatives must implement the central ideal that their founders sought to realise, and they must do it with wisdom, exemplifying in their personalities a true love that can serve as a model for everyone. I hope that many leaders will take this matter seriously and continue to strive to establish an assembly of global religious and spiritual leaders within the UN. I've worked without ceasing my entire life for the sake of realizing the one nation in heaven and on earth that is the will of true love of God. During that time, I have taught the leaders not only of the religious world, but also of the worlds of government, philosophy, academia, business, media, non-governmental organizations, that we must live for the sake of others. I did not teach concepts alone, but I led the way and provided the example. On that worldwide foundation, I established the Interreligious and International Federation for World Peace and appointed ambassadors for peace throughout the world. That was in order to cultivate leaders who will realize the world of peace and harmony by eliminating the boundaries that cause conflict and struggle, and by serving as living examples of altruistic love. In addition, I am building peace embassies in every nation of the world as bases for our peace movement and our service movement, and as educational centers to teach and accomplish the vision and wisdom of our IFWP advocates. Remember, that time there was a lot of, our father was sending quite a lot of grants of money to build peace embassies around the world. I think we got them in, Vanuatu, Fiji, so on. So I earnestly request that you leaders recreate your families and nations through true love. I hope that you will support and help to accomplish the vision of the Interreligious and International Federation for World Peace, which is working so hard to establish the true everlasting world of peace that God desires, a world without national boundaries. Hoping that this conference has provided you with productive and inspiring experiences that will lead to the world of peace being realized even sooner, I conclude my address. Thank you. So, what an amazing, it sounds a simple speech, but if we could sit the world leaders right now, especially those involved in conflict, sit them down and teach them this. This is really the way to peace. There is no other way. And this really just crystallizes how peace can be realized in the world. And Father is teaching it so beautifully, actually. So anyway, I thought it was a really amazing time, amazing speech. And so thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Reverend Stone, for sharing with us. And I'll just offer another praise song for us to reflect with. I'll just bring that up. So please enjoy.
Our Hyojin, who always shout out that Philip piety is mine. Just like you, Hyojin-님, we will become filial sons and daughters. we will become direct children of true parents. We will protect our true mother until the end. We will become such children.
차렷 경례. 바로
Yeah, thank you, Reverend Stone, for sharing that wonderful message from Father. That 3 speeches in 2 days, and really it's a dramatic turning point. And yeah, I mean, we're going to have our special day today. This is the second, and we'll be doing the as everyone else, sharing in the celebrations for the holy days, and also here in Sydney we have two couples that are going to be blessed, and so we all needing to go off and make sure and prepare that. So just want to say thank you to everyone that's here, and let's enjoy today's celebration and blessing. And so with that, I would like to just let's offer our unison prayer so that we can enjoy the day. Yeah, because it's getting that sort of time anyway. It's a minute or so earlier, but I think need the time. So I'll just bring up the screen so we can offer our unison prayer together. Thank you. So please let us pray. Jew, Jew. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for sharing with us this morning, Reverend Stone, and I hope everyone has a great day and a great blessing event today. So, please enjoy and see you all again tomorrow. Thank you. Okay. Bye.